Hello, Business 630 students. This is Professor Hasse speaking live and in color from Claremont, California on Sunday, September 5th, 2021. And this is our introduction to week number 3 of our corporate finance course. This week, we have our first case study work. It is due a week from today at midnight on September 12th. It's an APA formatted paper, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. We're concluding our study of capital valuation and risk and reward with chapter 7 this week, stock. We're going to be in our lecture video, which will be posted Tuesday of this week. We'll be talking about calculating stock price using discounting and required rate of return, some key factors in understanding the strategy of corporate finance. Our group project will be posted this week on Wednesday. It'll be due October 17th, and I will assign the groups on Wednesday of this coming week, September 8th. You'll see what your group team members are, and you can begin to get together and get to know your team members over the next few weeks, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in our lecture video on Tuesday. Again, any last minute team assignments that any of you would like to, students you'd like to work with in our group, let me know. I'll be working on the teams today and tomorrow, and then posting them to Blackboard this coming week. Okay, so our topic is stocks and discounting stock price, but our main topic, it's going to take up some of your time this coming week, and I'm sorry it has to be over Labor Day weekend, is our first case. So let's take a look at that. Okay, here I am at our Blackboard site. As you can see, the left-hand side is our menu items to our Blackboard folder, which I'm sure some of you are getting familiar with. If you go to now the case study file folder and click on that, you'll see case study number 1, risk assessment. I've given you 2 format files, either or it's exactly the same, a PDF file version and a Word doc version. You are to download this and do your work, prepare your paper. Your paper can be in Word or Mac Word, or it can be in a PDF format. If you want to use an Excel file to highlight some of your work and act as an addendum, that's fine, but your main work is in a APA formatted paper. But you can include Excel files if you so desire. This paper is to be completed and then posted back to this file folder. To post it to this file folder, you just click on the file folder, and up comes a upload page where you can go to assignment submission and just find your files on your disk drive or your hard drive, or wherever they might be on your computer. Select them, hit open, and that'll upload your file to Blackboard, hit submit, and then I can review your file and grade it at the end of next week, or the beginning of next week when you post it on Sunday. So that's all you do. You can just post it back to this file, but please put your name on the file folder that you submit. It's a lot easier for me to track down in Blackboard. No papers can be submitted or files can be submitted via email. They have to go through Blackboard. If it comes to next weekend and you're running a little bit behind and need some extra days, this is not an easy case like all of them, and it requires some work and preparation. And so if you need some extra days, please email me as soon as possible or text and let me know you need an extension, and I will give you an extension probably to the next Wednesday. So basically you have 10 days to do this, but I'd like to have all the papers on Sunday the 12th, but if you need an extension, you have to let me know. If you don't let me know, you'll be late and you'll lose 10 to 15 points for being late. So just be sure you let me know. And I'll remind you again about this in our lecture video this coming week. So this is case study number 1. Also this week, we open up state case, week number 3, called equity financing. Here are some excellent explanations, some key definitions to refresh your memory about stocks, and determining the required rate of return or the cost of issuing stock for a company. Some nice videos on explaining stocks and the difference between stocks and bonds. and just a synopsis of Chapter 7 from your text, definitions of some of the key points in the chapters. So make sure you reread those. But our case number 1 is on the entirety of chapters 4 through 7 and encompasses risk analysis. So let's take a look at that case. Okay, here's case study number 1. Read it carefully. And I will be available tomorrow, on Monday evening, Labor Day weekend, on Monday night for office hours for Business 630. If you have any questions on this, I also will be available all week, this coming week, if you have any questions or concerns about this case. Read it carefully. This is a corporate finance, advanced finance, MBA case, so it requires some thinking, some research, internet research, and some analysis. And it's in the APA format. If any of you have any difficulty understanding what an APA format is, I have a link to the definition of APA format right here that you can look at, or you can ask me any specific questions about the format of the paper. This is a risk evaluation of the company that you selected in week number 1 in the discussion forum. You all selected a company in that beginning week. I have it right here. Everybody from Arletta, who submitted CVS, all the way down to Victoria, who submitted Target. All of you selected a company, and you're going to take that company and do a risk assessment, a risk evaluation of that company. In other words, what is the status of this company today in the market as far as risk is concerned? You're kind of like doing a FICO analysis of your own personal credit on steroids. What is the makeup of your company now in the market? The first part of the case is to determine the credit rating of the company. You can either use Standard & Poor's, you can use Moody's, you can use Fitch Investment Services to determine what is the credit rating of this company. You've already given me, a lot of you, the beta of your company. I need to see that. Then I want you to do the capital asset pricing model, required return on equity investment. This is defined in chapter 7, and it's also highlighted in our week 3 information in the file folder. The capital asset pricing model to determine the required rate of return on an investment in your selected company. You need the beta. You got the beta. You need the risk-free interest rate. I give you that. The risk-free interest rate in the market rate today on Sunday, September 5th is 1.32%. That is the current yield on the 10-year United States Treasury. The current market risk return is 6.75% as of today, September 5th. That's the current rate of return in the stock market, usually indicated by the S&P 500 index. That is the current rate of return, average return of any stock in the market today, 6.75%. All right, you are determined to calculate the capital asset pricing model and determine all this. Those are the figures you need: the company's beta, the risk-free interest rate, and the market risk of rate of return. Also, I want to know, what is your company's current capital structure? What is the current makeup of your company's debt percentage in relationship to assets, and your equity of the company in relationship to the assets? Use the most recent financial quarter, which would be June 30th. So use the June 30th quarter of your company. Tell me, what is the percent of debt? What is percent of equity of your company on June 30th financial quarterly statement on the balance sheet? Those two numbers should total 100%. You don't have to require to do this, but if you do submit it, I'll give you a couple extra credit points. What is the company's current weighted average cost of capital? What is your specific company's current WACC? And explain how, or the source of that information. If you give me the WACC, I'll give you a minimum of 5 extra credit points. Plus, if you really explain to me the source and how you got that information, or if you calculated it, I'll give you some more. So that is not required. It's optional for extra credit. Then the second part of the of the case, which is worth 65 points, I might add, is to determine the risk perspectives of this company currently. What is its organizational health? What is everything related to the sustainability of your firm's future value? Is your company today, in your perspective, sound organizationally? Is it going to produce return in the future? Is it in good shape? The environmental perspective of your company. Everything that is happening outside your organization that it could affect your future success. It could be the current market. It could be how inflation reflects your particular business. It could be on the industry and competition, politics, political, social risks that are currently. Maybe your company does business in a lot of foreign countries where there's a lot of social or political risk. It gives me a perspective of the risk of your company organizationally into the future and environmentally about factors that influence it outside of the organization. I give you key takeaways to use in your analysis of organizational and environmental health. Okay. Risk analysis is the process of assessing the likelihood of an adverse event occurring within the corporate, government, or environmental sector. Risk analysis is the study of underlying uncertainty of a given course of action and refers to the uncertainty of forecasted cash flows, streams, the variance of portfolio or stock returns, the probability of a project's success or failure, and the possible future economic states. How overall, in your perspectives, is your company on sound footing for future with the risk it sees, not only amongst itself in its own current beta, its own current credit rating, but also factors outside of your organization. All right, this is the paper for this case number 1. You are to complete a minimum of 5 pages and a maximum of 10 pages, no more than 10 pages, please. All right, APA format with a title page, an abstract page, which you still remember. An abstract in the APA format is a page that you submit your conclusion, what you're trying to find out, and then your papers to explain that conclusion or what you found out about this analysis. And a reference page. Please cite the references you use throughout this paper. So there's 3 pages right there: title page, an abstract page, and a reference page. For some of you, only need 2 more pages of writing, which probably will not occur. I hope not. Double spaced, Times New Roman 12-point font. Yes, we're getting that specific. At this level of study and presentation, many times, if any of you have put together a presentation for your company or some other venue, you are required to give certain types of standards for that presentation, and those are your standards for this case. APA format, title page, abstract page, references, double space, Times New Roman, 12-point font. That's case number 1. I take off if that is not filed. That is not happening. If you don't present it that way, I take points off. So please be aware of that. That's case number 1, due a week from today, September 12th. Again, I'll be available Monday evening at 6 o'clock in our usual Zoom environment for office hours, but I'll also be available all week if you have questions. But do not, I assure you, do not wait till next Sunday evening or afternoon and try to do this paper. This requires a few hours of analysis, research, gathering information, and then putting it all together into a concise document for this risk evaluation of your company. All right, everybody, have a great rest of the weekend. I probably just bummed most of you out. Sorry about that, but have a great rest of the weekend. I'm around. We'll see you all during the week. My lecture video will be on Tuesday. Until then, adios.